Hello, my good people. Welcome to my channel Lion Spirit. My name is Julian, and I am happy to talk to you today. We are talking about something that is in a lot of people's mouths or minds. I stumbled around this term often. We talk about shadow work. So come, let's go. Oh, sorry. This was a misunderstanding, right? This is shadow boxing. If you wonder what this is, I just have some chocolate in the mouth, sorry. Okay. Right. Shadow boxing. It might have some similarities to shadow work, but in a rather physical way, right? See, the term shadow work is originally, I think it was coined by C.G. Jung. I also think he is a German. I have I have intentionally not read about him now because I just want to go in as naive as possible, in giving you my own experience about the topic, my own thoughts. But I will for sure check immediately after this video. I will check out C.G. Jung, and the master. He has coined the phrase shadow work, what he has to say about it. And see, naturally, if you are a personality that does introspection, this means whenever you find a peaceful moment in our turbulent world, you will think about what happened to you in the day, or what were the critics, what were your mistakes, when did other people, what did they say to you. You will process information that you have gathered, but you have not deeply processed, that you just instinctively, intuitively, impulsively, compulsively dealt with all the quick flow of things that happen in the daytime. But then you take the data that you have collected and you reprocess it, you reflect about it, you ask yourself, what is my part in the whole story? Did I react appropriately? Should I probably contact the person again and excuse myself? Or did I underreact? Did the person disrespect me and I was not clear enough about that I will not accept this kind of behavior, or that I was hurt? Whatever, what I'm saying? This means basically shadow work, in my opinion. Already, this is already kind of shadow work, and we naturally tend to do it if we are a complete personality that has all these abilities, because definitely there are people who are running on a lower vibration or level of self-reflection. Some people even don't have the ability to do this because they do not question themselves, like narcissists have this kind of contradiction within themselves, that they have this false self that they kind of invented, but no authentic self. And the false self needs validation and cannot take criticism. So a narcissist will not sit down and think about what he did wrong, where did he treat, he don't has the tools to do it. He has an inherent his personality structure is based on not doing this, And also he would need emotional intelligence and empathy to do this. So there are a lot of reasons that speak against it in terms of narcissistic personality disorder or people who have these traits. So the more emotional intelligence you have, the more layers of your brain you use, the more aware you are, the more caring you are, the more empathetic you are, and the better your perception for other people is, the less you are self-absorbed, you know what I'm saying, the more you are able to gather valid information and use it for shadow work. Now, little lion, how you doing today? But don't forget the good lion heart right here, right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we naturally tend to do shadow work already, which is great. But a lot of people experience a certain point in their life that they experience as an awakening, and it can often be triggered by abusive or other significant experiences they make. And in my case, I kind of learned through these situations I went through these confrontations that I had. I learned both about other people, but at the same time about myself. And of course, if you followed me, one of my 3 followers, then you know that it is that narcissistic abuse had a big part of my awakening kind of experience. So it feels like, suddenly you understand something that you have not understood. It's understanding the psyche of others, that there are people who are profoundly different to you. They completely work on another level, fundamentally. And before this, you thought everybody's basically like, everybody is able to admire another person without being maliciously envious on the person. Everybody is able to cry for another person. Everybody is thinking of the greater good for everybody. All these things, you were too naive. So I was too naive, you know what I'm saying? And then you learn and you start looking through people straight and you see it everywhere and everything changed. Alright, I talk enough about this in other videos. So, but what did I learn about myself? And this is that I like coffee. No, this I knew it before. I learned about myself that things are not granted, nothing is granted, and I learned about my blessings. And yes, I learned that it is not granted that persons are able to, I will repeat it now because this is an important part. And I will now talk about me. So I will put it this way. I learned that I am empathetic. I learned that I have emotional intelligence. I learned that I can admire other people truly and honestly without anything else. I simply admire them and have no problem with that they are better than me in something. And I can cry for other people. I think of the greater good. When I'm in a community, I think for the greater good of all. I do not strategize against people. I have learned this. I think this is the right way. I am good at strategy games. I love strategy games. I usually win when we're playing chess. But I have learned that it is not right to strategize against other people. So I have not had implemented that in my behavior at all. I never did that. It goes so far that I do not stand up enough for myself. Because everybody out there is in a competition. In the work, in the war between the sexes. That's how they call it, I think. Uh, I'm talking about love here, right? Or these terms, man. Um, so confusing the world, right? And everybody's thinking he has to compete in some way. And I was like, well, I know myself. I have not to prove anything to me or to anyone else. I'm not competing with anyone. And then you also, when you are at work, other people will harvest the reward for what you are doing. Because nobody, if you not stand up for yourself, nobody will. And this is, you have to learn it. And I had to learn it, you know what I'm saying? And this goes, of course, in private life as well. If you accept everyone and you say, oh, I understand everything, and then you introspect at the end of the day, and you were straight in the daytime, you put people in the right places, and then you start introspecting, and then you say, oh, maybe I was a little bit too tough. And then the next day, you give the person another chance, and you get softer again. And so it happens that when you are around really bad, abusive people, they eat you alive, They take away your private sphere piece by piece, your freedom piece by piece, everything. They will suck you out, right? We know this. And we learn about this. And this is what you learn about yourself. Again, you learn that your blessings are not granted. All the abilities, you are a light in this world. As people who are running around in darkness, they are shadows themselves. You might be the light in the world that casts a lot of shadows, okay? But there is people, they not carry any light within themselves. I learned about, I have virtues. I'm thinking about virtues actually. You can check out what virtues exist and how they developed over time in different countries and cultures and nations and whatnot. I have principles. I don't lie. I'm not stealing. All these things, okay? And I'm not saying it because I want to tell you or get validated how cool and beautiful and whatnot I am. I'm telling it because maybe you feel familiar with that and you know that this is not granted. There is people who have none of this. They are stripped because they have a different survival strategy. They cannot afford to have this. And this is why these people might be attracted to you. They see the light of you. They see, wow, they can't understand you the same way you don't understand them, But you assume, oh, they are like me. And they see this, they immediately see this person is not like me. Wow, what is this? How is he doing it? Why is he so positive? And this is why they will love you. Love you. This word, I can't use it anymore because there's so many misconceptions about it. And so they are attracted to you. And they will start to hate you for the same qualities that attracted them to you, because they will find out that you are real and authentic. The deeper they go, these are shallow people. And the deeper they go, they are not used to go deep. But if they start to dig deep with you, they find out there is no end to the depth of your personality, or authenticity. They're looking for something, for some mistakes, some weak points, some shallow you're too deep for them. They will never grasp you. They will never understand you. And this makes them hate you then. They can fake certain things. This is also the strategizing. They will fake empathy. They will fake all kinds of things. That's the survival strategy that they have. But they cannot keep it up And you will slowly learn and feel and see what happens. But it's a very painful, very slow process. And then you finally might get that awakening, right? And then it's easy. I say, man, no, it's not easy, never easy. But then it goes quick. Then you get these goggles, these magic goggles on, this vision, and start to see through them. And then you also go into that isolation and have to do shadow work, right? That is, the first step usually is to understand the others, because the shallow structure of personality structure of people with, let's say, narcissistic or other traits, because these personalities are structured from the architecture rather more simple than you. It's very sad, and it is also has some sort of fascination, but you should not look too long, stare into this abyss, But you will then, at the same time when you start understanding them, you see, there's more within my personality. There is more to it. I have more than they have. I have something to lose. They don't have nothing to lose. And this is when the first step, you understand them. I must say the sick mind, the negative side of psychology. You never wanted to understand it, and it is even painful to wrap your mind around that. But this is the truth. And the next step, once you figured them out, it will be relieving for you. You will go through certain healing. You completely have to leave the whole structure around that. Everybody, this is why you be in isolation, and this is why you can start to do slowly. Don't put yourself under pressure, but you're gravitating towards shadow work, and you have always done it in your life. This is why you went so far. You might be like me in my 40s, and you carried over these blessings, this light from your childhood, your emotional intelligence, your empathy. You're absolutely intoxic. You are what society needs. You make the world go round. You want to put yourself in, what I'm saying? You want to be part of it. And you have the gifts, all the things you need. I have said everything to that. And then at some point you will ask yourself, all right, but what is my part in the whole story? Why did I attract these people? What is my part? I cannot, you cannot point your fingers on people and say they are, they are responsible for my misery. This is what a covert narcissist would do. They take the role of a victim, even though they are the abusers. There is this strange role switching thing. They are victims, and then they victimize others, and they become abuser. But quickly, when you make them accountable, they quickly switch to victim again. And you are not a victim. You have been victimized probably, but you don't have that nature. It's not in you. Once you realize, you stop it. Once you see it, you find your way out. You not accept it. You fight against it. You have a mental immunity system. I also made a video about this. And once you get out of the first, out of this swamp, once you have the time, you're asking yourself about what is my part on this. And this is basically then the aware side of the shadow work. You have always done it in your life. Introspection. Asking, what is my part in this? Why is it happening? But the awakening brings a new awareness to it. You now know your gifts, your blessings. These things that others have been maliciously envy. They have malicious envy towards you. They are jealous. They hate you for the things they loved you. And these are your gifts. I will repeat them once more. Empathy. Sorry, I'm not perfect. I have to relax for a short moment. All right, being empathetic, being able to, as again, it's these set of traits. Admire other people without being envious on them, and having emotional intelligence. Sorry, I have to repeat these things. This is your blessings. Be understanding others, and they were treating you like a child. They say, "Oh, he's so stupid. He carries his own cross." We bringing him to his own crucifixion, and they expected you actually to not stand up from their treatment again. Well, but guess what? Here you are. Because you understand now your blessings. You know that you should not let these things go. They expected you to probably become like them. But these are your blessings. This is what you have to protect at all costs. And you have to do shadow work and ask yourself, well, what was my part in that story? Why did I attract these people? How could it get so far? What is my responsibility in this? How can I in the future not be victimized by these people again? And how can I actually finally, now that I know what my blessings are, what my abilities are, because I had to use them to survive, I had to protect this light. So how do I use it now? Because now you're aware, and in this time that this is all new for you, you may also experience the fact that without trying, you don't want to trigger other people, but you will trigger other people. And this is, even, if you go in a conversation with someone, you will probably say, okay, I don't want to go in too deep, I don't want to trigger the person, I'll just keep it nice and slow and say, but it's over, my people. You touch the core of a person. You touch the core of a person without even wanting to do it. It's just your presence. And this is something that you can learn to control a little bit more probably, or you learn about it. Your emotions is like the same almost as your aura. If you believe in something, you don't have to believe in that, but see, it's like your emotions and the way you approach people. You are so I can't put it different, but authentic and true and also innocent in a way, because you have lived all your life the way you are, but now you know that it was right. It was this moment where people tried to use it against you, but now you know it's right. This is the long-term thing. And I know my blessings, I want to protect them. I have all these things running, and then you have to, because you have this new confidence, this new awareness of what is, you get this new being knowledge. What you first had as I guess it's right, I think it's right, I just do it this way, then it's actually the right path. They wanted to fool you, but now you know that exactly that what they wanted to steal or destroy, or what they hated, what they were envious about, this is your blessing, this is your ability, and you have to learn to use it. And and without knowing, you push people on the next step of their own development, and because you don't want it, but you do this, you confront them with their own what you also start is you understand every person and yourself, including yourself, of course, by looking back in your childhood. What happened there? What personality did you have when you was a small child? What experiences did you do? What strategies? How everything, you understand your personality based on your childhood, based on your ancestors. And you also will understand all the other people around you based on what they had in the past. And one more thing I want to say, the video is already quite long. It is crazy what I said in the beginning, that you do introspection with the data that you collected over the day in a small scale. You can do this when you have been, let's say you had traumatic experiences over months because you lived together with toxic people, or or over years because you were in a toxic relationship, whatever. You can use the data you collected and process it and get crazy clues. If you just have the time and the discernment, you will get complex informations about what really happened without even talking to anyone or getting like evidence, like I have this evidence, I have this picture. No, you learn stories, what really happened, about family lines, about repeating patterns, generational patterns in families. Also about what the true intentions of certain strange structures of relations were, like different families that were aligned in a situation. They were friends in a village, and you understand all the roles of all the persons involved, but all the roles are very different than what the surface showed. The people played roles, they had masks on, they were deceptive, and you get all the information. It's crazy, as if you can see through them, and it goes so far. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, I will leave it there. It's a long video. Thank you for your attention, and it's here, my people. We need to heal. This is why the shadow work is there, and we have to protect our blessing, our light at all costs. You know, one love, one people, one blood. I'm out.